All right, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for a video on the cryptocurrency market every day. My name's Austin, and if we take a look at where we are today with Bitcoin, with cryptocurrency, you can see that we're in a little bit of a correction phase right now. In fact, over the last 4 or 5 days, the price of Bitcoin has corrected over 10%. We're down over $1,000 in the last 4 days, from about 11,800 to 11,300, and now today we bounced off of 10,400 to right now at 10,600. Now, things to note: Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin is leading the bears right now, with Bitcoin down 6%. The rest of these altcoins either in the green or down 0 to 4%, meaning that Bitcoin dominance is down. We're down almost 2%. Now, what does this mean? Well, first, I want to check out volume. Volume right now is low-ish. To put this in perspective, we vary anywhere in the last several weeks to 3 billion or 4 billion, as low as 800 million. And we're low-ish right now, which, I mean, take this for what you will. There are many indicators to look at. To me, this suggests is there's not that much buy pressure right now to buy at 10,600, indicating just volume-wise that maybe we have a little bit farther down to go. Now, we've had big news in the last 24 hours that might be the reason that we're seeing some of this pullback, some of this bearish behavior. We're going to talk about this. We have a lot of news to cover today. But first, I just want to put remind you of two indicators that might just give us some perspective on where this price has yet to go. We're going to talk about the Kimchi premium. We're down right now. And what I really want to show you is the crypto fear and greed index, which we've talked about before. But the significance right now is for the first time in a long time, the fear and greed index is almost down to 0. We are at an 11 right now, which is we got there in a blink of an eye. To put this in perspective, the progression last Saturday, we were at about a 59 back when the price of Bitcoin was around 11,300, 11,400. We were at a 59, and today we're at an 11. Each day, this company analyzes the emotions and sentiments from different sources and crunches them all into one simple number. 0 means extreme fear, while 100 represents extreme greed. And if we look at this index, this is the index over the last year, we can see that, all right, one time we got to a 10. Another time we got to a 15. Of course, that was around November to December. This was when we had that huge drop in the market in November into the coming months last year. And right now we're damn close. So what does this mean, and what does this mean for you as an investor in the market? Well, the index shows that when traders are fearful, extreme fear, a market correction is typically underway. The needle is designed to shift into extreme fear only when a significant correction has taken place, indicating that the investors are overly worried and that a buying opportunity could be at hand. So according to the developers and creators of strawpoll.com and thundercheck.org, who create this, this is the time to buy. Because if we just look historically, last time we got this low, around November to December of last year, really that was the time to buy when Bitcoin was at all-time lows. So you tell me. Really, the only problem that I have with this is that this is a result of what the market already did, which is no problem. Oftentimes it shows great buying opportunities when they're there, or great selling opportunities when they're there, but this is a result. Let's go to some metrics. Let's dig a little deeper and go to some metrics that might open our eyes a little bit more to where the price of Bitcoin is going next. The first thing I want to show you is some on-chain analysis. Bitcoin's NVT signal, which is the network value, the amount of transactions that are actually happening on the blockchain. Of course, we know as the space has progressed over the last few years, this isn't quite as accurate as it used to be, as we got more exchanges and more sidechain action. So, this is just another consideration. But if we zoom in right here, we can see that we bounced back up into overbought territory. Sort of a bearish signal coming out of the NVT signal. But if we zoom into the Bitcoin difficulty ribbon, which we went over in my video last week, this one's a little more bullish. These bands, the sell pressure from the miners, they continue to stay wide, and in the past we have seen them close back up again, indicating that there was more sell pressure from the miners. But right now we're looking bullish. So a little bit of yin, a little bit of yang. This is all price action speculation short term. And one more thing before we get to the news, because I want to cover the full spectrum in today's video. Right now, this correction, it looks bearish. We're getting indicators going both directions. Are we bearish? Are we bullish? But if you watched our video yesterday, Goldman Sachs was very bullish. And can we zoom in? I mean, if you want more detail, check out the video we did yesterday. But in simplistic terms, as long as we can stay above a $9,000 Bitcoin, Goldman Sachs is bullish. So this is going to be a very interesting next few days. As the market moves, as I get more information, I'm going to keep you updated. But first piece of news, you probably already heard, the Bitcoin ETFs were delayed. Obviously, because the SEC, they always push it to its last possible deadline. As expected, the SEC has delayed all pending ETFs. The new deadlines are, these are the dates to watch out for. The Wilshire one, September 29th. This one's not as big, and also we have more delays in store for this one, potentially. But the two biggest ones, and why October is going to be a very big month for Bitcoin, is the Bitwise and the VanEck. No more delays are possible. I mean, in a lot of ways, this sounds like the news we were hearing in 2018. But they reapplied. They're new. October 13th and 18th are going to be a big month for Bitcoin. If they were to get approved, this would just mean more on-ramps, more potential liquidity in the space. It would be a green flag, but we'll see. Something to keep on the radar. And next piece of news, the SEC announced yesterday that they were filing an emergency action taking down another altcoin. The ICO, which was, what was it? It was this one right here. Not sure how to pronounce that. Vechain. And if you're wondering what the hell is he being charged with, can this happen to other altcoins? Let's talk about it. Well, a self-described financial guru, which was the main guy, Reggie Middleton, is accused of propagating false information about his businesses, as well as conducting trades in an open market that jacked up the price of Veri. So price manipulation, promising his investors that he'd make a profit. And of course, if you tell your investors that they should expect a profit, that's a security. And they didn't register with the SEC. The SEC further alleges that he misappropriated at least over $500,000 of investors' money for personal use, as well as $600,000 to purchase precious metals to prop up another scam. Wow. And the update on this is that the SEC has officially, late last night, the SEC has obtained a temporary restraining order freezing the assets of Reggie Middleton and Vechain. Now, Vechain dropped over 50% at one point. I'm honestly shocked it didn't go to zero. It went to as low as $4. And for some reason, there's still hodlers out there. Guys, I'm not a fan of the SEC when it comes to how they handle cryptocurrency. But in my opinion, as an altcoin investor, I think the community deserves a better class of altcoin. That's me. If you hold Vechain, let me know why. I'd love to know. And I just want to say that this Reggie Middleton, I've looked up interviews with this guy. This guy doesn't seem like a bad guy. And I don't know about him buying precious metals or price manipulation, but his main fault from the SEC's point of view is over-marketing. And that's a crime for the SEC if you're a security. And they're trying to prove that it is. So we'll see. Anyways, let's keep rolling. Let's keep going through the news. Bitcoin is now a legal form of payment in New Zealand. So this is a mixed green flag, a little bit of green, a little bit of red in my opinion. I mean, but this is bullish in a sense, because according to comments by the New Zealand Commissioner of Inland Revenue, Bitcoin has all of the required qualities to be considered a form of payment. And New Zealand is one of the first, I should say, to actually implement this on a country government level. Now, while they do consider it a form of payment, it still has the legal status of property rather than money, meaning that it's still taxed at every transaction, which is the bearish part for me. And correspondingly, criteria which makes it a legal means of payment and therefore subject to taxation includes convertibility into fiat and the ability to be transferred as a means of payment. So the government still wants their share. But in general, this is really good news for Bitcoin, as companies in New Zealand are finally able to offer their employees the option to receive a certain percentage of their salaries in Bitcoin. Now, because of this, the process of #stacking sats on payday has become more seamless. It also opens the door for third-party fees to be eliminated if a company itself already owns Bitcoin. So no more third-party providers taking some of your Satoshis, which translates into more Satoshis for employees and an extra reason to hodl until hyper-Bitcoinization. I'll let you know. Anyways, that is the video for today. My name's Austin, and I'll see you tomorrow.